Hey friends, today's video is a little bit longer than ones that I'm used to making, and I wanted to tell you the reason why. We jumped into the 100-mile wilderness and hiked through that, and then the process of going into Baxter State Park, staging ourselves, hiking Katahdin, and coming down. All of that's in this video, and I wanted to not only share the beauty and the ruggedness of the place, but also the process for those who might be approaching Katahdin as well, and you'd be able to lay eyes on the kiosks and the Birches and all those kinds of places. So that's why this video is a little longer. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Here is the sign as you enter the 100-mile wilderness. First water of the 100-mile wilderness. Look how clear that is. You can see all the way to the bottom. No tannins, like Massachusetts. Loving it. How's the water, Blue Jeans? Man, it's a pretty lake. This is like the 5th one we've walked by. It's our first water crossing of the 100-mile wilderness. Just a reminder to always unclip your backpack. Here we go. Wilson Valley Lean-to. Privy up in the back. Good morning. Leaving the Wilson Valley Lean-to. Yesterday we jumped up to the 100-mile wilderness, and we're kind of about 10 miles into the wilderness now, and it's definitely a different terrain than Massachusetts. There's a little pond behind us. It's definitely a little bit more rugged. Lots of tree roots to navigate and those kinds of things. The trail is narrower, but we had a couple of really beautiful days to hike here coming up, so that's what we're gonna do. What's up, man?
I forgot my hat.
That was Thunder Thighs from Israel. He just ran by. He forgot his hat back at the shelter, so he's running back to get that. But yeah, got about 90 miles left of this wilderness. Packing heavy, so knees are not happy with me, but you know, it's what happens. So the more I eat, the lighter my pack gets, which is a good thing. So, all right, I'll check back with you later. Well, sign that we are in moose country. Now we just need to see a moose. Top of Barren Mountain in the 100-mile wilderness, and that peak right there is where the fire tower is, where I'm headed. Look how deep this mud is. My trekking pole sunk more than a foot. I'm glad that's not my foot. Ugh. Okay. This is a rare high alpine bog, and it's kind of cool. These those plants there are similar to a Venus flytrap. They're insect eating, or there's a joke, if you fall into the bog here, you might get eaten by the plants. There's some more right there. So it's really cool, a cool space. You walk on these bog planks and enjoy the view. There's often moose up here. I haven't seen or heard any so far, but it's definitely a very cool space. Blueberries in Maine too. Yummy. Nice little campsite. Overlooking the lake. Morning. Leaving a unofficial campsite along the west Chairback Pond. It's a beautiful spot. Tenting options aren't great, but it's peaceful. Right along the pond. Got a good night's sleep, so that's good. Yesterday was a tough day for us. We didn't anticipate, I think because of the hiking through some of the lower elevation places like New York and Connecticut and Mass, and then jumping up here into the 100-mile wilderness. Forgot how rugged it was here, and yesterday, even though we only did 15 miles, it was technically difficult. Just rocks, roots, constant up and down. So I think if we had gone through Vermont and New Hampshire, it would have prepared us mentally and maybe a little physically. But having jumped right in, we were all a little bit beat up at the end of the day. We also got rained on a couple of times, made everything here really wet and slick. So I think today we're gonna cut back a little on the mileage, at least till we get through the elevation part of the White Mountains, because we have White Cap coming up. Yeah, so today's a little bit more of a chill day. Only between 13 and 14 miles, and but it goes through some beautiful sections of the trail. If you have a map, you know, between West Chairback Pond and White Cap Mountain is a beautiful area. So I think we're just gonna slow it down today and enjoy that area. We have enough food, we got time, so why not enjoy the journey instead of just rushing through, which we're also tempted to do. So speaking of journey, I'm gonna get going. Touching base with y'all later. It's the view from Chairback Mountain. Pretty good one. That's the pond / lake we camped around at last night. So many blueberries along this path. Everywhere. I think I have enough. I better get hiking. It's a great use of the blueberries I just picked. Peanut butter and blueberry and honey bagel witch. The west branch of the Pleasant River, about to ford. Success! You see all those mosquitoes over the top of the stream. And then right in front of that little branch There you go, you just saw a little brook trout grab a mosquito that hit the water. See if I can zoom in any closer. Here he is. Good morning. Leaving the Carl Newhall shelter, or lean-to they call them in Maine, this morning. Beautiful day, blue skies, forest. Kind of cool. Today is a big climb day. Going over a white-capped mountain, which is the last large mountain before you get to Katahdin. After that, it's supposed to be a pretty cruisy section of the 100-mile wilderness. We'll see. This hasn't been too bad as far as elevation goes, but the lattice work of rocks and roots keep you constantly paying attention where your feet are and tripping hazards, all those kinds of things. So it's a little bit slower to go the miles. But it's okay. Every terrain has its challenges, and you got to adjust to them. So, but hoping to do 16.5 miles today if I can do that. There's a beautiful camping spot right on the lake, so hoping to get there and enjoy a night overlooking the lake. So we're going to get going, and I'll check back with you later. If you're curious about what I mean by rocks and roots, let me show you just a little bit of the path. So it's just, you know, slow going, trying to navigate where to place your feet, that kind of thing. So there you have it. That's the path. Hey, Mr. Moose, Mrs. Moose, whoever you are, these are stairs, not a bathroom. From the top of White Cap Mountain in the 100-mile wilderness. It's a great view. Hiking off White Cap. There's the path, and look at that in the background. That is Katahdin. That is the destination. That is where we are headed. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. The smell through here is really, really good. Just that dry pine, this beautiful forest. Just thought I would share it with you all. Of course, I can't share the smell with you, but I can share the beauty of this place with you, which is wonderful. Looks like the tree has a nose. No face, just a nose. Ooh, plot thickens. There's a moose track. Of course, it has a trekking pole hole in the middle of it, but there are moose in the area. What a beautiful night on the lake. You know what's even nicer? Camping on the lake.
I bet she's...
Yellow lines with the shadows far behind us, broken to that summer school, fooled around on the infirmary car. We can.
Morning. Just leaving Crawford Pond, where I spent the night on the beach, which was a wonderful experience. Had watched the sun set. The Stars were amazing because the sky was clear. Watched the sun rise this morning. And then an added bonus was we ran into Thunder Lizard and Garbage Barbie, who I met in Georgia. And Thunder Lizard plays the ukulele. So we sat around last night eating dinner, watching the sunset while he played the ukulele. Man, just a really cool night. So, yeah, everything, because it was clear and we're near the lake, lots of condensation on my tent. And I slept without the rain fly on so I could see the stars. So my sleeping bag got wet. All that to say, getting a late start this morning because I had to let stuff dry off. But we're going to get a resupply of food today in about 6 miles. It's no more mountains till Katahdin, so it's a pretty cruisy walk. The wilderness here, it's not so wild because lots of day hikers and there's a boat on the lake, but it's a gorgeous section of the trail. A little rugged. First part, this part's been nice, but beautiful. Went to bed listening to loons last night. Yeah, good night. But I'm gonna get hiking. Gotta get to the road and pick up our food. And then when we get to Antlers Campground, I gotta make plans and reservations for what happens when we're done hiking Katahdin, because that's the last place that there's a cell signal. So, because it is, there is that. But I'm gonna get walking, and I'll check back in with you all later. Probably one of the nicest shelters to stay at. It literally sits right in front of the river with a nice swimming hole. Too bad it wasn't a hot day. I'd go swimming. Oh yeah, in the middle of the 100-mile wilderness. Whoa! Heaven in the 100-mile wilderness. Heck yeah. It's good trail magic right there.
You got moose. That's moose.
Tonight's campsite. Potaywadjo Lean-to area. Blue jeans over there. Pretty. Good morning. Leaving this lean-to. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try. But yesterday was a great day. Got some trail magic at the Mary Jo Road. Burgers, sodas, all that kind of stuff. It was really, really good. And thanks to Chili P who put all that out. But leaving this morning, got an 18.5-mile day to stage ourselves so that tomorrow we only have a 15-mile day and then we hit Katahdin. So long day, but I'm getting some water this morning and I wanted to show you this water source because it's super cool. It is an artesian well, and just walk over here and the water just comes out from the ground through that sand, and woo-wee, it is ice cold. Probably, I don't know, 30 degrees. Can't keep your hand in there too long, because it will get cold. But and the water just runs down, creates a little stream. So these are the kind of water sources that we really look forward to during the summertime. Anyway, have a great day. Chat with you later. Plank walking through the bogs. There's a lot of it in the 100-mile wilderness. These are in pretty decent shape. Some of them are rotted or very loose, little bit like this one. And then, of course, bear scat in the middle. But yeah, so this is a big part, is balancing on these planks as you walk through. Last time I hiked through here, I slipped and fell off one of these into the mud. It wasn't fun, but anyway, there you got it. It's another pretty part of the trail, hiking through the 100-mile wilderness. It's the white blaze. It goes right through this pine forest along the stream. Really pretty. Not something you see every day in the 100-mile wilderness, but grateful nonetheless. Pretty cool. There's the trail. Comes out right by this beautiful lake. Enjoying a breeze. And it goes back in over there. It's a beautiful view. It'd be much nicer if we didn't have all the smoke from wildfires, but it is pretty. All right, this is the Rainbow Stream Lean-to, right near the Rainbow Stream, which is awesome. I want to show you this lean-to because it's unique in the sense that it has the old school, what I call the baseball bat flooring. Super uncomfortable to sleep on unless you have a air mattress. So for those who might be coming here, know that's the shelter. So we actually are camped up the hill there in the pines, lots of tenting sites. It's really good. Good morning. Leaving the Rainbow Stream Lean-to this morning. Yesterday we hiked 18.5 miles. Wasn't a whole lot of elevation gain, 2,500 feet or something like that, but as I've shown in other pictures and videos, the terrain here is very rugged. Lots of roots. So we've kind of nicknamed it Rootsamania, kind of like Rocksylvania, but it's good. You just have to keep an eye on your feet, where you place them. So it just takes a while to get through it. But slept really, really good last night. And today, we're just 15 miles from the end of the 100-mile wilderness. So it'll be the last day in the wilderness today, and then we'll begin our attempt at Katahdin. I say attempt because when we get there tomorrow morning, we have to stand in line and put our name on a list at the ranger station. First 12 thru-hikers are allowed to camp at the Birches at the base of Katahdin, which is then only a 5-mile hike. If there's more than 12 ahead of us, we either have to wait a day to the next day, or we have to hike the 10 miles in, 5 miles up Katahdin, 5 miles down. So it becomes a 20-mile day to hike, which is a lot. We try not to do those, and then you put a big mountain in. So I'm hopeful we'll get in. We haven't seen a whole lot of thru-hikers, so it'll be good. But gonna enjoy this last day. Goes by some streams and lakes and all that kind of stuff, and I'll shoot you some pictures and touch base with you later. One of the many small ponds throughout the 100-mile wilderness. Most of them have some sort of canoe or small boat attached to them, but it's beautiful. Here we are on Rainbow Lake. One of the coolest things about this spot, other than there being tenting behind me, is the presence of this spring. Look at that. It just comes straight out of the ground in a metal pipe and into the lake. Ice cold. Well, friends, we've just exited the 100-mile wilderness. We picked up a friend on the mountain named Moses. And look, we even did it with less than 10 days worth of food. We're feeling pretty proud of ourselves. All right, we're walking out of the woods from the 100-mile wilderness to the road. And then the marks tell us where to go. So we turn right and do a road walk all the way down to the Abol Bridge store. This is the famous Abol Bridge. And if it wasn't so cloudy, you would see there's Katahdin, a little bit of an outline of Katahdin. But here we are. Just beyond Abol Bridge is the Abol Pines campground. Tonight we're staying at the Abol Pines hiker campsite. There's my tent overlooking the river. We got a little fire pit and his blue jeans and gummy bear. It's a beautiful spot. This is the kiosk before going into Baxter where you have to sign up. A couple of hikers waiting to sign up this morning.
We do early birds.
That's where you sign up for the Birches campground. But we have Beat the Ranger, so we have to wait until 7 when they get here. There's the sign up, there's the permits, and information. Couple of hikers going to Katahdin.
Take care, y'all.
Have fun.
Wow.
Swimming hard and fast.
To see something.
Oh yeah. Rewarded. Good job, buddy. Cool little forest. This is the Birches. A couple of lean-tos, picnic tables, a couple of tent platforms, and we're set up way over on the corner. Right, spent the night at the Birches last night, getting ready to summit Katahdin, head up the trail, got a 5-mile hike. And we're excited for it. So you'll definitely get some pictures and some video from the top. See you there. Man, some beautiful waterfalls on the way up to Katahdin. It's the first look coming above tree line on my way to summit Katahdin. So hiking up the trail. There's a white blaze, white blaze, white blaze, going to the sky. Getting a first good view of the park. I'm not even at the summit yet. That is up there. I'm 2 miles away from the summit. which is right there. Well, we climbed over that peak, which we thought was the peak, but it was a false summit. There's the real summit. We're headed there now. There's the summit. It's in sight. Look at those hikers up there taking photos. It's gonna be us soon. Here we are, top of Katahdin.
Definitely should have corporate sponsors.
We might want to camp out like somewhere maybe.
Man, I made it to the summit and celebrated by taking a couple of different poses, and then with my good friend Blue Jeans, who made it with me. Now we have the long descent down over that plateau and then the steep side, which may even be more difficult than coming up. So let's get to it. Well, here's the path down, the view, and that's the ridgeline we have to walk down all the way down to the bottom there to catch our ride. Better get going. In case you're wondering, this is the white blaze of the trail. It's pretty narrow and steep. There's to the left. There's to the right. Here comes the rest of my crew down half the steep part. We're climbing through all these rocks, high elevation. Look at that, just a piece of rebar, yeah. Here we go. Man, Katahdin was steep and rugged, but we made it down and saw some friends at the bottom that we haven't seen in weeks or months. It was a great trip.